Pirates and the Reds. Wild, Wild West tonight. PNC Park. Ken Laird, Guy Junker, and joining us now to talk about it and all the hoopla surrounding the Pirates' first trip to the postseason since 1992. Pirates team president Frank Coonelly back with us here on Trib Live Radio. How are you, Frank? Good morning.
Great. Good morning, Ken. How are you today?
We're all pretty good. Give us just a sense. You came here in 2007. And I'm sure this was at least one step along the way of your goals. How are you guys feeling as a management group to see this day come to fruition?
Well, we're very excited, not just the management group, but every single employee who works for the Pittsburgh Pirates, full-time, game day staff. Everybody's excited. They're all a part of it, all a very large part of it. And as you said, this is a step. We look forward to the opportunity to head out to St. Louis tonight after this game. But obviously we have a steep challenge ahead of us with Mr. Cueto, who's had his share of success against the Buccos, and particularly here at PNC Park. So looking forward to the challenge tonight, and looking forward to a deep ride in October.
Frank, two-part question. One, is this what you envisioned when you took this job? And two, were there spots along the way where you thought this would never happen?
Guy, one of the reasons that I was really interested in Pittsburgh and embraced the opportunity here was because I knew this was a great baseball town. So I'm not surprised at all that the Pittsburgh Pirates, among the 30 clubs, had the third highest TV ratings in all of Major League Baseball this year. I'm not surprised that we were banging up against our all-time attendance record from the first year of the new ballpark, and look forward to exceeding that next year. These fans have sustained us through a long period of lack of success, and without them, we couldn't be here where we are today. I told them that at the rally yesterday. They didn't give up on us. Some did, but the core of our fans never gave up on us. Certainly got frustrated and disappointed, and rightfully even angry, but never gave up on us. So I could sense in Pittsburgh a great following for its baseball team, and was confident that when we turned things around, or when we were part of a team that helped to turn things around, the fans would be here, and they'd be here enthusiastically, and we've certainly seen that. And were there times along the road when I thought we weren't going to get there? No. Certainly some times that were tough, and 99 losses, 105 losses. Those are tough years to endure for people that work here, and certainly for our fans. But I was confident that Neil Huntington and his team had put into place a plan that could work, and that it would take some patience and some perseverance and some resiliency, and certainly all of those things were tested over the last 5-6 years. But I was confident that if we could demonstrate that patience, we could get this team to a position where we could compete for championships, and we're certainly grateful that we were given that opportunity.
Frank, this means a lot to a lot of people around of course, the team and the city. From what you've seen, what have your eyes seen, I guess, over the last couple of weeks of maybe some visions behind the scenes, people that maybe it means more to than some others? What have this last couple of weeks been like to see it finally rise up to this?
Well, you're absolutely right, Ken. It means so much to people that have been here throughout the entire 20 years. It was very difficult to be a diehard Pittsburgh Pirates fan when the national story regarding the Pirates was the consecutive losing streak. That really will test someone's love for its professional sports organization, and yet we have fans, and I sit with them at games. I talk to them during games, after games, email with them, who truly believed in each and every one of those 20 years when we reported to Bradenton, Florida for spring training, even though there was no tangible evidence that would have supported their belief, they truly believed that we were going to be a championship caliber team that year. And obviously those years all ended in disappointment from that respect. But they were back there again next year when we were reporting to Bradenton, still with that belief. So for those people to finally have an opportunity to see their team perform on the field the way those fans believed that they would is very special. And we have many, many people who fall into that category, and it's great to see them have this opportunity.
How many people have called you for tickets this week?
A few.
I'm sure.
Most of them have relied on email and text messages, but a few. The tickets obviously are extremely tight. I've seen some of the numbers in terms of what tickets are getting on the secondary markets, which is, incredibly marked up from face value. We really were very careful to try to keep the ticket prices for the postseasons, first time in 21 years, at a reasonable level. Major League Baseball was not happy with us because we didn't increase them nearly as much as they thought they should be increased, but particularly for our season ticket holders who have stood with us and stood by us for all these years, we wanted to make sure that they wouldn't be priced out. But there are certainly some people out there who are taking advantage of the demand for tickets on the secondary market. So it's a tough ticket, and when we move on to the NLDS, it'll be an even tougher ticket.
Pirates president Frank Coonelly, our guest here on Ken and Guy. How early should fans arrive that are going to the game, Frank, and what all is going on around the stadium today?
Well, we always encourage, but particularly now encourage fans to arrive as early as they can, and we'll have a festival again like we did every Friday night on Federal Street beginning at 4 o'clock, and tonight, which will be a little bit different than the usual Friday night flair, we have invited a few of the Pittsburgh food trucks to come on to Federal Street, so there'll be some new food choices for fans coming down early, beginning at 4 o'clock. The Budweiser bar, the portable Budweiser bar that's been here on Friday nights, will be back, and fans have seemed to enjoy that. There'll be music on the street and activities out there beginning at 4, and then I would also encourage all the fans to make sure that they get themselves into the ballpark in plenty of time to see the pregame festivities. Former Pirate great and the pitcher who threw such a great game in that tragic Game 7 against Atlanta in 1992, Doug Drabeck, former Cy Young Award winner for the Pittsburgh Pirates, will be back here reconnecting the last playoff team with the current playoff team and throwing out the first pitch tonight. Patrina McCutcheon, Andrew's mother, who does such an outstanding job singing the national anthem, will belt out the national anthem tonight, and that's something that should never be missed. And right before first pitch, our video crew has put together what I think is a really outstanding video that will be new for the fans and that I would hope fans wouldn't miss.
Well, Frank, this has been a couple years in the making. 2 summers ago, you flirted with first place in midsummer and faded. Last year, you flirted with first place in late summer and faded. I'm just wondering, organizationally, what was it like last October when you guys sat down to assess what had happened? Did you think you were pretty close then? Were you worried they might blow it up or not take one more step toward what we have this year? Can you just describe the difference in the last 12 months?
Well, Guy, I think what they say about adversity, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, and we certainly went through adversity over the last 2 years as we saw, we thought we saw very clear, tangible signs that the organization was moving forward and things were happening that we hoped would happen. And each of those years we did not finish the job and didn't finish nearly as we hoped to or needed to in order to get to our goals of making it to the postseason. So particularly last October, there were some tough days and some tough internal conversations. There was a lot of external, or there was quite a bit of external advocacy for rebooting, that this was nice and you got close, and but it's not working. It's time to start anew and a fresh start and remove people I never for a second thought that was the right call, and I was gratified that Bob Nutting, our owner, didn't think it was the right call either, and gave this team a chance to take us to where we've been aiming to go for now 6 years.
Frank, is it an official blackout tonight, or is this just kind of an uprising with some of the fans and maybe a few players? What do you expect tonight in terms of the?
This is an uprising, that's for sure. The players have taken to social media and they're asking the fans to wear their black. It is not something where we're passing out T-shirts tonight, but we will. Fortunately, have a giveaway for the fans. We're going to have a rally towel that is black, so we're in tune in that respect, and fans will be able to shake their rally towels, which is a Raise the Jolly Roger towel, and it will be black. So it'll be interesting to see how many of the fans don their black. Many of them do in any event, but we're looking forward to seeing what the ballpark looks like in either all or mostly black.
I wore my black tie.
I wore my dark suit. Is the best I could do.
Got to get to that duck on the water and paint it black or something.
You had to mention that stupid duck.
Oh, it's a great duck. Come on.
I suspect the TBS cameras are going to find that duck once or twice tonight.
Last thing for me, Frank, Francisco Liriano on the mound tonight. There have been so many key players along the stretch here, but what about his story here this season and now to come full circle and to be on the hill for you tonight?
Quite simply, we couldn't be where we are today without the contribution that Frankie's given us. I think as you look at the most valuable free agent signings in this offseason, both Russ Martin and Frankie Liriano have to be among the top two in all of Major League Baseball. They both come in here, fit in with this group of men incredibly well, and have performed for us and showed these guys what it takes to be winners. And we're really looking forward to Frankie getting out there and giving us another outstanding start tonight.
Frank, one last question from me. Bud Selig has announced he's done after next year as commissioner of baseball. You worked in the commissioner's office. Any idea who the front runner might be to replace him? And I know you want to stay here, but your success here, if your name started getting mentioned by the powers that be, would that be something you would ever be interested in?
Take the second one first. No, I love it in Pittsburgh, and we have a long-term vision here, and I'm looking forward to seeing through that long-term vision. Love my time at the commissioner's office, but I'm really enjoying it in Pittsburgh. My wife loves it here, so we're here. You're stuck with me for a while, I'm afraid. In terms of front runners, there I'm sure are many extraordinarily qualified candidates who would love to have that opportunity. I know that just yesterday, Bud announced that he has named Rob Manford, a former colleague of mine at the commissioner's office, as the chief operating officer, which is the first time that since Bob Dupay left the office that there's been, a number one person there in the New York office reporting directly to Bud. So I'm sure there'll be speculation that makes Rob a front runner. But at the end of the day, the decision on the next commissioner will be made by the 30 Major League owners who I'm sure will look at and evaluate carefully both internal options there within the commissioner's office, external options at other baseball entities like clubs, and then I'm sure they'll even look at external options outside of baseball for candidates, and they'll make that final call.
Well, at the end of the day, if Liriano wins, I vote for him.
we want to make sure that Frankie's pitching here next year, so we don't want him interning to be the commissioner after Bud steps down.
Appreciate the time, Frank.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Congrats and enjoy the day.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. Have a great day.